The envelope left on booth 7. The check sat at the edge of the table, folded once, untouched. No signature. No tip. Just silence. For Lena Carter, standing beneath the soft yellow lights of a worn-down diner off Route 41 in Ohio, that silence was louder than the clatter of dishes around her. She stared at the empty line where a tip should have been and felt the familiar ache settle in her chest. Not anger. Just tiredness. Because when you're already running on hope stretched thin, even a small disappointment feels heavy. Before we go deeper, if you believe that kindness still exists in quiet places, take a second to like this video, subscribe to, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Lena was 29. A widow. A mother of a 6-year-old boy named Noah, whose backpack was always a little too big for his shoulders. Her days started before dawn, packing lunches, tying shoes, whispering promises she wasn't always sure she could keep. She worked at Maggie's Diner, a place travelers passed without remembering, but locals depended on. Lena poured coffee, memorized orders, and smiled through exhaustion because bills didn't care how broken you felt. That evening, just before closing, he walked in. He wasn't flashy. No entourage. No phone calls. Just a calm presence that seemed to slow the room. He chose booth 7, the one near the window, and ordered simply. Lena served him like everyone else, warm, patient, professional. She noticed small things. How he thanked her every time. How he folded his napkin neatly. How he watched the room more than his phone. When he left, he nodded once and was gone. That's when Lena saw the check. Paid in full. Tip, $0. Her throat tightened. She cleared the table carefully, until her fingers brushed something beneath the plate. An envelope. Her name was written on it in steady ink. Lena. She waited until the diner emptied before opening it. Inside was a handwritten note. I noticed how you treated every customer the same, whether they were kind, impatient, or invisible. I noticed the way you spoke about your son with pride, not complaint. This isn't charity. It's recognition. Behind the note was a cashier's check. The amount made her knees weaken, not because it was extravagant, but because it was exactly enough. Enough to fix the car. Enough to breathe. Enough to believe tomorrow might not hurt so much. There was also a card. Daniel Whitmore. Whitmore Community Initiative. Call if you choose. No pressure. That night, Lena hugged Noah longer than usual. She didn't explain the tears. She just let hope sit quietly beside her for the first time in years. She called a week later. Daniel wasn't a miracle worker. He didn't promise riches. What he offered was guidance, training programs, childcare support, and leadership workshops for people who worked hard but were never seen. Lena learned. Slowly. Steadily. She became shift supervisor. Then assistant manager. She helped Maggie's Diner digitize orders, hire single parents, and offer flexible shifts. The diner changed. The community followed. Years later, Lena stood behind the counter, not exhausted, but confident. Noah sat nearby doing homework, safe and smiling. Once a year, Daniel came in. Same booth. Same quiet presence. Same zero tip. Always a note. And Lena understood. The world doesn't always change with grand gestures. Sometimes it changes with an envelope left under a plate, waiting for someone who notices. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to. Comment one word that describes how this made you feel and tell us where you're watching from. Because sometimes, what looks like nothing changes everything. Yellow Heart.